All right, folks, so today I'm going to take you through 4 different exercises that target your triceps, okay? Triceps are quite a complicated little muscle group because there's a couple of different muscles running in different directions. It's the triceps, so the group of muscles that are there. So you've got a long head and a short head, and depending on what exercise you use, you actually target different parts in a different way. So I'm going to show you 4 different exercises. Work your way through all of them. Use all of them, all right? It could be that the first exercise I show you, you'll do 4 times, okay? So dips. So let's just get into that right now. Let me show you some dips. With dips, now people stuff these up all the time. I'm going to show you how to do them correctly first, and then I'm going to show you what people do when they stuff them up. So I'm in position, I'm doing my 12 dips, and I'm away. 1, 2. Remember, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk you through it, okay? 3. So it's going to be quite a long video, sorry. 4, 5. This is the correct technique, by the way. 6, 7, 8. I probably could go a little bit slower. I'm slowing it down. 9, 10, 11. I'm just going to go for 12 because I can do a lot of these. And 13. Now, normally I'd have a 60-second rest in between, and I'd go straight into it as you watched in the other videos, and we're going to ignore that because there won't be enough time for me to explain this exercise to you. Now, first thing you need to do is when you're doing dips is, I always sit down on the bench, good idea. Then I sit, so I'm actually sitting on top of my index finger and my thumb, and they're out on a slight angle. So it looks like I'm sitting on them. Okay, I've got my wrist lined up right to the edge, so my wrist's going straight down the bench. My fingers are twisted out slightly on an angle, because what that does is it brings my elbows in tight behind me. So instead of me having my fingers this way, and I'm trying to do it like that, watch when I twist my fingers out, my elbows now come in behind me, so I'm targeting my triceps and not working my chest. As soon as my elbows are out, I start to work a bit of my chest, and it's an assisted exercise, and we don't want that. The other thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm not drifting away. See how that's really stretching me away now? And my elbows aren't really bending. But when I come in close, now I can get through that 90-degree bend beautifully, and you'll notice my back is almost scraping up and down against the bench, okay? So elbows in tight, wrists just on the edge of the bench if you can, fingers pointed out, feet don't have to be too far out. Some people go straight legs, up to you. I don't really see any reason to change it, and just get in nice and tight like that. Now, probably a good exercise for you to start off with. Anybody that's never done triceps before, brilliant, do it. If you're a little bit more advanced, it could be used as a good warm-up exercise, or use it at the end of your set. So it might be the exercise you do after all you've done, after all the other stuff that I'm about to show you. Got it? That is dips. Right, next one. Let me show you skull crushers, because I bloody love skull crushers. What am I going to do? I'll use 5s because we need to show you what I'm up to, don't I? So, skull crushers, going to need yourself a bench. You can just lay on the floor to do skull crushers. My guys do this in my classes all the time. This is a terrible way to pick up weights off the floor, by the way. I always stand up and get them. Right, so I'm on my bench. I'm going to lay down flat. How are my words today? Lay down flat. The aim here, pretty much with any tricep exercise, is to keep your elbows in nice and tight. So I'm going to be laying flat on my back, remember, with my elbows like this. Okay? Elbows in tight. I don't want them out. I want them in tight. I'll talk you through after I've done the exercise. So down we go. Weights, my hands are directly above my eyes so I can actually see them, and I slowly lower them down just till they actually pretty much hit me on the skull, because they're called skull crushers. And that's 2. Notice the nice controlled speed. 3. You may want to have someone spot you when you're doing this. 4, because all of a sudden your triceps can just give way and you can drop a weight on your face. 5. Or pick a weight that is slightly lighter than the one you think you need and play it safe. Hope you're counting at home. I think that was 7 because I'm talking and counting and I stuff up. 8. I'm going to slow these right down. 9. 10. Oh, look at the little shutters coming on. How good is that? 11. Oh, I love it. And 12, roughly that magic number. Bringing the weights down with the big and heavy, just elbows towards your side, legs, and you rock up. Boop. Now, let me show you that one. So I'm face on and to you. I'm not going to use the weights. As I lay down, my elbows are in tight, okay? Your elbow, you should be able to keep them tight as you're lowering the weights. As you go up, sometimes they pop out a little bit. Do your best to tuck them in. Try and keep them tight the whole way through. All right, try and keep them in there. Just going to show you another little technique for this one. Should be in the camera. Instead of having my hands directly above me, watch how I slightly take them back. Now the weights would be right above my face. I feel like they're always falling backwards. That is my starting point. Because when I come back up, I'm constantly fighting, okay? I have to work the whole time. Over here, they get the rest of it. Back here, they're constantly fighting. I'm doing my best to keep my elbows in the whole way through. All right, tricep skull crushers. Love them. They're really good for targeting different muscle groups. Right, single dumbbell above head press. There's many different names for it. Basically, you're going to need a heavier weight. Okay, this is good for some of you that may have only big heavy weights at home. Now you can do this seated, you can do it standing. I'm going to do this one seated. I've got no support behind my back, but it'll be okay because I'm not only using a 10 kilo weight. So with this one, I'm going to be hanging onto the top of the dumbbell. It's up above my head. Start nice and tall, elbows in, and away I go. 1, 2, look at that stretch all the way down the back. 3, trying to keep my elbows in tight. 4, and I'm just pushing straight to the sky. 5, 6, 7. I actually don't like doing this one. 8 without a back support because I start leaning back. 9, 10, but I don't have the correct bench for it, so I don't do it very often. 11, but it really does work. 12. Let's say that was my 12th rep because it probably was. Now, what I was talking about is how my back curves. So as the weight's up, I start arching backwards. It just puts pressure through your spine. You're still working your tricep. It's great. If I was to put this bench up, I couldn't do it because it's too high. So I don't often do this exercise. I wouldn't recommend doing it on like an office chair or anything at home too, because you're likely to swing backwards. The chairs that you use for these in the gym are especially designed with a bigger back so you don't go flipping over. All right, but you can do that one. Again, you can do that exercise standing up as well. Just go to that. If you've watched my shoulder video, you'll see that you can actually stand and you can slightly push it forward. So my body weight's slightly forward, so you can do it standing as well. But I'll give you a demo, make it a bit easier for you. Always grabbing the top of the weight. And I can slightly change my feet and I can drive up that way. Nice and controlled, nice and fluid. Okay, very good. Righty-ho, last exercise. This is for someone that's maybe got lighter weights at home. And maybe you've only got 5s, and doing this with 5 just isn't cutting it for you. So what we can do is you can do it with single arm, which I do quite a bit of. I find this way better. Takes a little bit more time because you've got to do both arms individually. Pretty much the same exercise as what we just did then. The weight's up straight, and it just things single arm. I like this because you can really target. Okay, so that's 2. I'll just do one arm for you. 3, it's going to spin side on so you can see where the weight's going. 4, I need to be on a lazy Susan. 5, 6, you see it goes right down my back. 7, 8, 9, I'm going to show you the mistakes that I made with this one too. 10, 11, I'm already starting to lean backwards. And 12. Okay. So some of the mistakes made with this exercise are, I'll show you with this arm, is see how I've got my ear pretty much touching? Perfect. Works well. A little bit of a gap's okay. People start getting their arm out here and they start bringing the weight down like this because it doesn't hurt as much because now my tricep isn't working. You've got to really get that shoulder nice and high. Sometimes you have to hold your arm in place. Okay. If you're unsure, I've got a mirror here so I can see that I've stuffed up. So I go up and tall, change your foot stance so you can lean across. So I've actually leaned across that way slightly. You with me? Brilliant. Okay. It's pretty much the only mistake a lot of people make when they do that one is they let that big gap drop in there. That's it. 4 different tricep exercises. My recommendation would be if you're just starting out, just pick one of them. Just do 4 sets of one. Do your 12 to 14 repetitions, have your 60 seconds rest, repeat that 4 times. Yep. If you're not sore, increase the weight. If you've got more time, so what I mean, if you're not sore, and the next day if you're not sore, then it means you probably had to increase the weight, okay? If you've got more time, it might be that you have to do those 4 sets that you just did. So it could be 4 sets of dips with your 60 seconds rest. and then you move on to the next tricep exercise. So all of them are together, work out really, really well. There's other ones that we can do on the rings as well. There's heaps more advanced exercises. The rings are actually really, really good for tricep workout. There's obviously machines you can use for lat pull down. So if you do need exercises like that because you're at a gym, let me know, okay? Facebook group, get in there. Jaron, I've got a whole gym I've got a gym membership. What am I supposed to be doing? I've got these machines. Take some bloody photos. Chuck those photos in the Facebook group, because other people in the group will go, oh yeah, I've got all those machines at the gym as well. I need to know how to use them. I'll make you a video, all right? It's that easy. If I haven't already done it, I'll do it. All right, that's triceps. Go and get on with it.